Kevin Hunt, you're on deck. Thank you for your patience. Looking forward to talking to you. I'm promoting you to panelist, Kevin. So let me just make sure that you're unmuted. You're unmuted. And there's a screen share, Kevin. If you want to show your screen, you just hover the mouse around the same area and you'll see share, a green box come up, and then you could share your screen with us. Welcome back to Face.
That should.
Here we go.
Should be working, yeah.
Got it. EU up there.
That's great.
All right. So welcome back. How are you?
Thank you. Great to be back. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
Oh, good. So I believe you covered the Asian session for Kim and her company. The name of your company again, Kevin?
Name of my company is UK to Asia, although I don't really cover the Asian session. I'm covering the London session.
Oh, okay.
So I work with the members twice a week, Wednesdays and Thursday mornings, doing a live trade plan, live webinar, going through the trade setups that I'm seeing, and I trade those two sessions with the members. And,
okay.
And from that, then I might trade New York throughout the rest of the week, although last few months I've been pretty busy with a number of projects I'm involved in at the moment. So it's really only been the two sessions each week that I've been trading, just those two London sessions.
Okay. All right. So how would you describe your style?
Okay, our style of trading is very, very simplistic. It really is. Like I said to you before, listening to you guys speaking before in the lead up to this, it's mind-blowing to me. It really is. A lot of it is like a foreign language to me, what you were saying there, because all I'm doing is looking at these strip back charts, these bear charts. I'm looking at what price has done from when the Asian session started. The Asian session's marked out with this grey box here. And all I'm interested in is what price has done prior to when I come to the chart. So you can see here at 1 o'clock was when I opened my charts, 1 o'clock London time in the afternoon. And
so you mainly day trade, Kevin?
Day trade, yeah. Flat the market
okay.
every day, no open trades of the weekend, so I can sleep overnight and enjoy my weekends without even thinking about the markets. So I'm just looking at this period between the Asian Open and where I open my charts. Now, obviously, if I was working the London session, I'd be looking at this area here, roughly about this small section here, what price has done. But because I'm trading New York this afternoon, this is the area that I'm looking at to get a read as to how I'm going to be trading these different pairs.
Okay, what would be compelling to you to get long euro?
Long euro, the only way I'd get into the euro at the moment is if it broke this range. I'm seeing this as in a range. It's looking at this price action here, you can see it's not really gone anywhere. It's been pulling back and there's nothing there. We have two types of trades we look out for. We have clear directional moves or we have ranges. That to me is in a range and I won't be touching that unless it breaks out of this high here. I'm not interested in it at all. But even then, I'd need to see across the board, like both the euro pairs that we trade, I'd need to see both of them moving up. I'd need to see some kind of, because the only indicator.
Okay, so this is a no trade for you right now.
No, not at the moment. No, I'm actually in a few trades. I've got 5 trades open at the moment where I opened the chart, saw the entry points immediately, and like I say, I'm in 5 trades. So I'll flick through these.
So specifically, you need the euro to take out that gray box high to become constructive on the euro, which comes in what, 1220?
Approximately that, yeah. Or this low down here, I'd be interested in.
That would make you bearish?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
All right, so those are your 2 trigger points for what's happening today. What's the time frame on this? 8-minute chart?
15-minute charts.
Okay, because there's an 8 under EU.
Oh no, that's my stop. That's just a reminder. I mean, I pretty much know these now, but right from the early days, I marked my stop levels on there. So if I took a trade on the EU, I'd set my stop loss immediately to 8 pips. Very, very tight stops, very small stops we work with.
Okay. All right. So you started off here with the euro chart, so I thought there might be something you wanted to talk about on it.
All I'll do is flick through these charts. Same with the EJ, the Euro Japanese yen.
Okay.
That's ranging for me. I'm not interested in that unless it breaks a high or a low.
What isn't ranging? Pound is trending. What isn't ranging?
pound US dollar, I've got this in a clear directional move
Okay.
to the downside, although I'm seeing a big pullback there. You can see I've actually got an open trade on this. Took it short at 58 as it came through an entry point. You can see down here, but seeing a quite a large pullback there, getting close to my stop, which is 10 pips on the pound US dollar. So just need to see what that does. If this stops out, we've also got re-entry points that we can get back into these trades if we're seeing that the pound is continuing this. What we're looking at is this overall move from this point here to here. It's been in a downside move, so that's to us is a clear directional move to the downside, and we initially are looking for entry points, pullbacks where we can get in on these clear directional moves. So like I say, I'm already got in that 58.
So, all right, bearish a pound, and you're short now with a stop above the market. What would it take for you to start trading the long side of cable?
It would need to break this range here, because if this price actually pulled back, hit my stop, and carried on moving up,
it would still be a sell up to where?
If it came back into this area here, this area.
Okay,
here,
it goes back to neutral or
that's right,
positive.
Yeah, back in a range, and I'd be looking for a range break to the upside.
Okay. So the gray box that you show is that still the Asian session, or
every chart is the Asian session? That's right.
Okay, and it doesn't include. Does it include the whole Asian session from opening to close? Is that what the gray box represents?
It does, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so there's what, about 30 candles a session on a 15-minute chart?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever block out anything else, or is it always Asian session gives you the tell for London and the US? Is that really the methodology?
It's purely the Asian session if I'm trading London, because I'm coming into the market around about this area here on one of these candles here. But then coming into the New York session, working for the New York Open, then obviously we need to take all of this price action into account as well.
Okay.
You see?
No use. Okay.
Sorry, this white line here denotes where I actually open my chart. So all of the price action prior to that is what I'm looking at to determine my trade plan.
Okay, so the box, so then your trading plan is based upon when you start up your platform.
That's right, yeah.
Pretty arbitrary.
Really is.
Okay. I mean, unless you're like me and get up before your alarm goes off, but every once in a while it takes me a little longer to make a pot of coffee, so maybe I'm not going to open my platform at the same time. So how long have you been doing this now, Kevin? You're a veteran, right?
I started trading, I've been trading probably 2013, something like that, 2012, 2013.
6 years, 6 years of doing it. What
I
do you think?
Sorry?
Go ahead.
I actually joined Kim in 2015, June 2015.
Okay.
And it's from that point on when I started to see profit and consistency and pull everything together. You get that moment, or not a moment, it's over a period of time, but where things seem to make sense and you can suddenly see light at the end of the tunnel. And that was when it happened, really, when I started working with with Kim's criteria, and that's where I am now.
So Kim was a great mentor for you.
Genius, absolutely spot on. She really is good, absolutely spot on. Just Gerald, I mean, some people are
I'm going to be speaking to her. I have her scheduled finally for an interview, and I see her tweets, and so now this really clears the picture up that she brought someone in that she mentored and showed things to, and has enough confidence for you to lead a group of subscribers. That's a great story, and kudos to Kim. And what a break to come to the right person, because Kevin, you've been out there who some people end up with that promise they'll teach them the secret to trading, and anyone that says they have a secret, you don't want to hear it, right?
That's absolutely right. Yeah, it's just I don't know what it was, something gelled, and I mean, you might even find a mentor who's genuine, who's got a genuine system and who's very successful, but you need to click with that person as well. You need to, you need to accept and get on with the way that they're teaching and the kind of person that they are. And with Kim, I found that really easygoing person, straight to the point. She's a no nonsense person, and it worked really well. And if her strategy works for me, it really does.
You love her.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but as a mentor, yeah. I've never met.
Well, there's all different kinds of love, Kevin.
We've spoken many times on the phone. We talk on Twitter. We email each other, but that's as far as it goes.
All right, buddy. I wasn't implying anything else, but I would love anyone that gave me tools to pull pips out of the market because they're giving a part of themselves to you. So why don't you share a few of the most important lessons you learned from her?
What was that thing? I mean, one of the most important things she said, you know what it's like when someone says something and it just clicks. It's like a light bulb moment. I remember her saying once, it was just a throwaway comment as she was chatting in one of the live webinars. But she said, this is not about being right. It's about doing the right thing, which is exactly what it is. And from that, it made me look at what I was doing and the way that I was trading. And I mean, you hear it so often, people saying that you'll only be a successful trader if you can trade without emotion. But you think about it, every second of your life you're experiencing emotion, even when you're asleep, you're dreaming and you're experiencing emotion. So from what she said, I then gleaned that the way that I approach it now is it's not about controlling your emotions or suppressing your emotions. It's about making sure those emotions don't affect the way that you trade. And if you can do that, whether you're feeling euphoric on a massive winning day or down in the dumps on a losing day, it makes no difference to the strategy and the risk management and the way that you trade. So that was probably one of the key points that she came out with without even realizing it. It was just
that's a pearl. So, I think a lot of people, I'll include myself, kind of beat themselves up if they're emotional in the market. And, we're not machines. So we can detach and trade, but, controlling your emotions and, like you say, repressing them isn't exactly a great solution either. Just maybe a different way of just feel it, but it doesn't affect what you see and what you're supposed to do. And really isn't where we want to get to be, Kevin, is that every trade, win, lose, draw, is just another. And we don't get elated with victories and we don't go fetal on losses, and we just consider it being just business, just another trade, next. And we learn to say next instead of dwelling.
Well said. That's absolutely right, Dale. That's the way to approach it. And don't get me wrong, I still feel down when I have a losing day, but it doesn't affect the way that I trade.
Yeah.
We're human.
But I mean, that's cathartic for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other traders, because we feel bad that we feel bad.
Of course.
Okay, so it's okay. So then you just get more disciplined and you won't feel as bad as often. And if you just look at it as being business instead of, do you think that sometimes we attach our self-worth and self-esteem to being right or wrong in the market? And that's why a lot of people end up with health issues, because they're internalizing what's a very difficult endeavor.
I'm sure that they do. It really is one of those things that can swing you from feeling great to feeling depressed, I would say, in many cases. In an instant, you could have one trade on. I mean, this US dollar, Canadian dollar at the moment showing profit. I can look at that and it makes me feel quite good. If that spun around and went below that 3120 level, if it dropped down below that entry point where I got in, it would niggle me a little bit. And then if it came down and hit my stop, I'd be a little bit fed up about that. And if that happens four times in one session, then that starts to get to you. But I don't try and shut that off. It happens, and that's the way things are, and I accept it. But each time I hit that button to take a trade, I've got to see the criteria. I must see that criteria before I take a trade.
And how about some athletes they all care if they win or lose in a game, whatever sport it may be. But I've also heard the expression that they really just love the game and they love playing the game, and they don't worry about the outcome. They just do their best on the court, on the field, and enjoy doing it, and don't worry about the outcome because they're doing something they love. So perhaps that's another way to look at it is win, lose, or draw. You're in the game. You love the game. You just stick with it.
You can't focus on what the outcome is. No one knows what the outcome's going to be. At the end of this session, I might be a winner, I might be a loser, I might be break even, but I don't know. And I can't let that affect the way that I trade. Not at all.
Okay. What did Kim teach you about risk? Obviously, she taught you a lot about risk management. If you could look for trades with 10, 8, 10 pip risk, all your trades set up to that kind of risk. And if that's the case, what are you looking for on the other side of RR when you're risking 8 to 10?
Ideally, we're looking at a minimum of 2 to 1 risk to reward. Ideally,
okay.
You don't always see that. At the moment, I'm seeing weakness in the Canadian dollar, and this US dollar Canadian dollar trade that I've got on, I've set my stop loss up here just below that 50 level, because these levels, we've got 0, 0, 20, 50 and 80 as key levels, and that's what we're aiming for. So with this, I'm aiming for that 50 up there. That'll give me more than 2 to 1 if that comes in. But again, at the same time, I'm also comparing them and weighing up what the price action is doing with the CAD overall. So I'm looking at the CAD Japanese yen, looking at the US dollar CAD, as well as the US dollar and the Japanese yen outside of that, to see if I can push this trade, see if the trade's going to go up there. The other thing that I'll do is when it gets up to 10, maybe 15 pips profit, I'll lock in break even in case it spins back round. And that 10 or 15 pips used to be 20 pips. I used to wait until I had 20 pips profit before I'd lock in break even. But because we're seeing much smaller moves in the market over the last 3 years, maybe, around about 3 years.
Tighter, smaller daily average trade.
Average ranges, that's right. They're much smaller than they were. So I'm locking in break even a bit earlier now, and it's just to cover my back.
How about partials?
Partials? No, I don't. It's in or out. I'm in a trade. I don't scale in, and when I take profit, I take profit. It's the whole lot shut.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe something to consider. You're risking 8, you're up 8, you take half, and then you go to a B. Just just something. We're working every day,
of course,
and it can be disappointing just to BE a lot. And if you could maybe put a little something lunch money in your pocket, just something to think about. I do it. But what would you say, Kevin, is what kept you going during drawdown periods, and what was your worst drawdown?
Determination, like a dog with a bone. If I decide I'm going to do something, I'll do it, and I know it can be done. It's not an impossible challenge. It's I've seen other people doing it. I've seen Kim doing it and being successful. And those early drawdowns, blowing up a couple of small accounts before I met Kim, I knew there was a way through it because I knew there were people doing it. It was just a case of finding that way through. And it was that kept me going. Even now with the drawdowns, I don't really take massive drawdowns. I might have a losing day occasionally, or rarely do I take a losing week. I mean, if anyone wants to look at my website, I post weekly results on there. You'll see.
Why don't you, this would be a good time to show your website.
Okay, well, rather than showing you the website, because I remember last time it started to freeze things up. So what I've done this screenshot here. So the website now, UK2Asia.com, and if anyone goes on there, they can click on About Me, and inside it will have all the results, weekly results. If they want to contact me on Twitter, and the other thing is, me and Kim, whenever we're trading, we always post live on Twitter, every single entry, exit, and what we're seeing in the markets as we're trading. So at UK2Asia on Twitter. And then I've also got a YouTube channel, which if you go to YouTube and just search for UK2Asia in the search bar,
nice.
About 110, 120 videos on there showing my live screen as I'm trading. I obviously cut out the pauses in between, and rather than it dragging on too long. But people can actually get a good idea as to the method that we use at the Price Action Traders Institute and the way that we trade through that YouTube channel. Okay,
well, when I interviewed Jack Schwager, I asked Jack, what's the most important advice you could give to a trader? And he said, find a trading style that suits your personality. So why don't I wrap it with, if you're interested in day trading, Nick has a specific question. I'm not going to, thank you, Nick. And Nick wanted to know what you think about crude at the moment. So anyway, Kevin, I keep this page up here because this is where you could find Kevin and follow him. Is your education separate from Kim's? Because I see Kim has courses. Do you teach the same course, or have you developed something individually on your own as far as FX education?
No, I work with Kim. So the two
Okay,
mornings that I'm doing the live webinar, I'm working with her members who are trading the
okay,
London session. And anything, I mean, what I've got on my website is purely the basics of what we do. If anyone wants to go further than that, then they need to join the Price Action Traders Institute and get the full education from Kim. But they can still be working with me, shoot questions across to me, and we can interact
okay.
like that.
Ben Maldonado had a great saying when we were talking about drawdowns: acceptance eliminates emotional pain.
There you go. Easier
Yeah.
said than done, though.
Easier said than done, and you know what? That's what true love is, acceptance. Because isn't it? I mean, you
It
have
really
to
is, yeah,
accept
absolutely.
you have to accept the right, Ben. I mean, I accept you, Ben, and some of the tweets I get from you. All right. Anyway, Kevin, it was a pleasure talking to you. You know, you're my trading warrior brother, and really respect what you do and what Kim does. Tell Kim hello for me. I'm looking forward to speaking with her. And hey, brother, I hope pips rain down on you with your methodology for the rest of the year, and especially this slow summer trading season.
Thanks very much, Dale. It's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, that's Kevin Hunt, and you could follow him here at uk2asia.com, and same at the Twitter. So really appreciate Kevin spending time and edifying our community today. Good luck on Turnaround Tuesday. Looks like the dollar's starting to fade. EG is, I think, back at the megaphone top. I'm looking for shorts in crude. We're not there yet. Oh, yeah, EG's come off from that wedge line quite a bit. So that 3 drive working. So adios, everyone. Thank you again, Kevin. Really appreciate you being with us, and I'll see everyone tomorrow. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And I count each and every one of you that hear our voices every day a blessing in my life. Adios.